But understanding that you and your staff will focus on this all the time, when you hit a stretch like this, are you really more concerned about the attitude at this stage or the execution?
Oh, well, we need both. So, but as far as, what's the priority, I think the, attitude, style of play is what, is the primary focus. So, because when your style of play is correct, the execution will benefit the most from that, as opposed to execution without the proper style of play. So I would say attitude and style of play is our primary focus.
And what ways do you go about getting that? Because obviously there are some principles that you just reinforce regardless of what's going on, but when the message isn't being received or not being carried out, do you look to do things differently, or are there some things you won't do differently? How do you approach that whole aspect of it?
Well, I think you have to have evaluation filter in place, which I do, and I think the fact that you go through your evaluation process, it starts on the plane ride home last night, and throughout the morning, and you take it to the players. But as you go through that, as we're getting ready for Philadelphia, bring in the things that we know we need to work on. Is there something in Wednesday's practice can you change? Thursdays, the meetings today, what's accomplished. So at the end of the day, we got to keep emphasizing, the way we need to play, the things we need to do better. No one feels worse than the football team. We understand the disappointment outside of the building. It's clearly, we're worthy of the criticism. So, frankly, we got to make sure that we stay on point, stay on target, and just not react and try to change up a bunch of things just to change. That's not my nature. I'm a big believer in the process, and that's going to be the approach.
Can you give us an update on Dalton's status and how he's feeling today?
Andy Dalton's in the concussion protocol, and as far as every stage and so forth, I'm not going to get into the specifics of that, but he was here today, saw the trainers and so forth, so he was not in the meetings.
You talked last night about the team didn't have the expected response after the dirty hit from Boston. Did you talk to them about that? And also, how do you feel about the NFL deciding not to suspend Boston and Boston just give them a fine?
As far as the NFL, I'm not up to date on that, and that's obviously out of my thought process. So as far as what went on with Andy's hit, I think obviously the officiating took care of what happened and so forth. But the response, from the offensive line, I think our guys did exactly. At the starting point was, cover the football. They were all five of them were right there when Andy went down. But I think this whole thing, as far as how it's viewed, is a little bit of a microcosm of just kind of where we are. So you got young players in new situations. So, but that's really all I got to say about that.
Consistently talk about how one reason he believes in you is because you don't just have experience with success, but also adversity. How do you use that here, and how do you feel like you've used it in the season so far? I totally apologize. I didn't catch the first part. The adversity. Jerry Jones has consistently said that the reason he believes in you is because you don't just have experience with success, you also have experience with adversity.
Okay.
How do you feel like you've used that experience this season, and how do you use it where your team is at right now?
Well, we've had plenty of adversity. I mean, it's clearly we're not playing to the level that we need to compete and to win games. So, when I look back at my past experiences, this season, there's segments of this season that remind me of my first year in Green Bay, 2006. We were 1-4. Then there was a stretch of 3 games that we didn't play very well at all, and was beaten thoroughly by the Patriots, and lost a tough one, I think, up at Seattle, and then beaten again at home by the Jets, and we were 4-8. So, and then went on to win some really good games at the end and finish 8-8, and it was something we were able to carry into the off season. So, I have experience of been through the ups and downs, and those are these are the times you look back to those moments, and it kind of it's a check and balance for you, and so I have great belief in the way and approach of what we're doing, and I think just the fact that we're a football team that's still working on the connection of how we do things, and the practice format, and ultimately playing in the game. So we're clearly not where we need to be, clearly not where we want to be, but that's kind of the state of the football team.
And Randy Gregory only played 6 snaps, I believe, in the game yesterday. Was that a plan going in, and what do you expect from him this week in Philadelphia in terms of ability to use him?
Rep counts are something that's worked on throughout the week. So we'll see how the week preparation goes. So it was great to get Randy out there and get him involved.
Mike, how do you build? What comes first, the confidence or playing well? And how do you build your players' confidence to play well when they're going through stuff like this?
Well, I think ultimately we're chasing real confidence. False confidence only lasts so long. So to answer your question, I would say playing well is what really establishes the real confidence. There have been experiences that I've been a part of where you may not play very well at all, and you're winning games, and then it jumps up and bites you. So we need to continue to work. These are moments that we can gain great benefit from in the future if we go through these times the right way and make sure we're accountable and we apply it to everything we do moving down the road.
This was a team when you came here that everybody believed was built to win. Now, has injuries changed those expectations for you? That is this now a rebuild on the fly in some respects going forward for these next 9 games?
Expectations. In-season expectations are. Your expectation is to win week to week. So, I truly understand, how the business works, and preseason, questions about, how you think your team's going to be. I'm an optimist. I have great ambition every year. I feel there's a path to victory for every football team. So every team's dealt challenges. Obviously, every team's challenges are different. So injuries are a big part of our challenge right now. And but with that, it's an opportunity for a lot of players. There's a lot of players that have opportunity, and frankly, some are not taking advantage of it, and some players are taking advantage of it. But as a coaching staff, we need to make sure we're taking full advantage of it, because this thing is we're trying to build something special for the long run here.
Mike, when Dak got hurt, you said you were worried about DiNucci, just the preparation. Does the same apply now to Garrett, because you're not sure when you might get Andy back?
Yeah, I think the answer is exactly, you can see what I'm talking about. It's young players. History will tell you can't wait till you're in that seat where you're one play away, because it can obviously come on you quicker than you may anticipate. So so Ben needs to have a great weeks of work, and Garrett's obviously just arrived, and so we'll move forward into the week working those 2 guys.
Do you spend a little bit more time with DiNucci, because he is such a young quarterback, just in case he might play at Philly? Do you try to spend a little bit more time with him this week?
Yeah, definitely. I think that would only be natural, but I got a lot of work to do this week, so we'll see how much time I'm in the quarterback room versus the other focal points.
Who do you expect to come back from injury this week? And Tyler Biadasz, is he someone who's earned the opportunity to remain as your starting center even if Joe Looney returns?
As far as going into the week, I mean, Tyler will work as a starting center. I thought he did some good things in the game yesterday. We saw pressure defense, which frankly wasn't a huge surprise. Just knowing their history defensively and the fact of what we saw Monday night against Arizona. So with that being said, there's a lot of there's a number of looks that we did not see on tape from them, and I thought Tyler handled the recognition of it very well. The execution wasn't what it needed to be, but I thought he did a nice job. So as far as who's coming back, I think you'll hopefully see Joe practice on a limited basis. Sean Lee will get the practice, and Cheeto will get the practice also this week.
Which trend is of greater concern for you? The turnovers your team, your offense has given away, or the turnovers your team and defense has been unable to force?
I mean, both. I mean, we're poor in both areas, and it's reflected in our turnover differential. So I mean, that's the focus. It's something we do every single day. We'll continue to do it every day, but they go hand in hand. So I would say the priority is to take care of the football if you want to put one in front of the other, because you have to maximize every opportunity as a football team, every opportunity that you do get the football. So we need to take care of it but a lot better, and obviously we need to take it away also.
When you pop in the tape and you look at last year's personnel, specifically on defense, and you look at the way some of these guys are playing this year, can you rectify the two? In other words, have you been able to try to figure out where this disconnect has happened, whether that be, as some players have described, as a coaching disconnect? I know there's also been questions about leadership in the locker room. Can you put your finger on why you're seeing a drop-off there? I mean, is it the scheme or is it the players at this point?